Have you ever felt tired, even after sleeping? Not physically tired, mentally tired. The kind of tiredness where simple tasks feel harder than they should. You forget things more often. You lose motivation for things you normally enjoy. You stare at your phone for hours, but still feel drained. And no matter how much you rest, something still feels off. What if I told you that your brain has its own way of asking for help? The problem is that most people completely miss the warning signs. They keep pushing themselves, keep working, keep scrolling, keep worrying, until one day their mind feels overwhelmed, exhausted, and unable to focus. In this video, you will discover 5 powerful signs that your brain desperately needs rest, why these signs happen, and what you can do before mental exhaustion takes over your life. And make sure you stay until the end, because the 5th sign is the one most people ignore, yet it may be the strongest warning your brain can give you. Let's begin. The first sign is you cannot focus on simple things anymore. Think about the last time you read a page and immediately forgot what you just read. Or when someone was talking to you, but your mind kept drifting somewhere else. Maybe you opened your phone to do one thing and forgot why you picked it up. At first, these moments seem harmless, but they often signal something deeper. Your brain has a limited amount of attention available each day. When stress, worries, responsibilities, and constant information overload pile up, that attention becomes exhausted. Imagine trying to run 10 apps on an old computer at the same time. Eventually, everything slows down. That is exactly what happens inside your mind. Your brain is not becoming lazy, it is becoming overloaded. And when focus starts disappearing, your brain may be asking for recovery. Now let's move to the second sign. Everything starts to annoy you. This one surprises many people. When the brain becomes tired, patience becomes weaker. Suddenly, small problems feel huge. A slow internet connection feels unbearable. A simple mistake frustrates you. Someone asking a harmless question irritates you. You may even become annoyed at people you care about. And afterward, you wonder, why did I react like that? The answer is often mental exhaustion. A well-rested brain handles stress better. A tired brain reacts emotionally. Think of it like carrying a heavy backpack all day. Even a tiny extra weight starts feeling unbearable. Mental stress works the same way. When your brain is overloaded, small annoyances feel much bigger than they really are. And that brings us to the third sign. You feel tired even after resting. This is where many people get confused. They think, I slept 8 hours. Why am I still exhausted? Because sleep and mental recovery are not always the same thing. You can sleep while your brain remains stressed. You can rest physically while your mind continues worrying. Imagine charging a phone while dozens of apps keep running in the background. The battery improves a little, but it never fully recovers. Many people spend their evenings scrolling social media, watching endless content, worrying about tomorrow, and replaying yesterday. Their body is resting, but their brain never gets a real break. That constant mental activity prevents true recovery, and over time, the exhaustion grows stronger. Now, here comes the 4th sign. You start forgetting things more often. You walk into a room and forget why. You misplace your keys. You forget appointments. You struggle to remember names. You reread messages many times, and suddenly you start wondering if something is wrong with you. But in many cases, forgetfulness is simply a tired brain struggling to process information efficiently. Memory requires mental energy. Focus requires mental energy. Decision-making requires mental energy. When the brain becomes exhausted, these systems become weaker. Think about a phone running on 1% battery. It still works, but not very well. The same thing happens when your mental battery gets too low. Your brain starts conserving resources, and memory is often one of the first things affected. Now, before we get to the final sign, there is something important you need to understand. Your brain is not a machine. It cannot perform at maximum capacity forever. Yet many people treat themselves like robots. Work harder, push harder, stay busy, never stop, never slow down. But every high-performing system requires maintenance, and your brain is no different. Which brings us to the fifth and most important sign, the sign most people completely ignore. You stop enjoying things you used to love. This is powerful. Maybe you used to enjoy music, movies, gaming, exercise, talking with friends, learning new things. But now, nothing feels exciting anymore. Things that once made you happy suddenly feel boring. You still do them, but the enjoyment is gone. Many people think this means they need something new, a new hobby, a new phone, a new relationship, a new goal. But often, the problem is much simpler. Their brain is exhausted, and an exhausted brain struggles to experience pleasure normally. Think about it. When you are mentally refreshed, even simple moments feel enjoyable. A walk outside feels good. A conversation feels meaningful. A favorite song feels exciting. But when your brain is overloaded, everything feels dull, because your mind is spending all its energy on survival instead of enjoyment. And this is why the fifth sign is so important. Because when joy starts disappearing, your brain may be sending one of its strongest signals for rest. Now, here's the good news. Your brain is incredibly resilient. When you give it what it needs, it can recover faster than you think. Sometimes recovery starts with simple things: taking short breaks during the day, spending time away from screens, getting quality sleep, going for a walk, sitting quietly without constant stimulation, talking to someone you trust, giving yourself permission to slow down. These small actions may seem insignificant, but they tell your brain something powerful. You are safe. You can rest now. And that changes everything. So let's quickly recap. The 5 signs your brain needs rest are: you cannot focus on simple things. Everything starts to annoy you. You feel tired even after resting. You become more forgetful. And the biggest sign of all, you stop enjoying things you once loved. If you recognize these signs in yourself, do not ignore them. Your brain is not failing. It is communicating. It is asking for recovery before burnout takes over. And after watching this video, you will be able to recognize these warning signs early, understand what your brain is trying to tell you, and take simple steps to protect your mental energy before exhaustion controls your life. Because sometimes the most productive thing you can do is give your brain the rest it has been asking for all along.